Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of Young at Heart, featuring nursery rhymes, stories, songs, poems, Mother Goose, Aesop's fables, Lewis Carroll, limericks, larks, epic stories of the great operas, and such. To keep us all young at heart, I'm Father James DeLuzio, recovering from COVID. Yes, I too got this disease. Thankfully, my symptoms were really bad only one day, but tired. My isolation is over. I do have to go around wearing a mask, but I'm doing all right, although a little cranky. Nevertheless, I decided I wanted to offer this conclusion to you on Tuesday night. I just recorded Luke Live Online, if you want to check that out as well, on YouTube or Facebook. So how do we end this powerful Nordic tale of East of the Sun, West of the Moon? Well, as you know, we left the young woman despondent because she looked at her lover, Prince, in the bed when she wasn't supposed to, although he was a polar bear during the day. So now he's gone off to the home of the enchantress and her ugly daughter with a nose that goes from her face down to the floor, forced to have to marry her, only to be prevented if the young woman, our heroine, is brave enough, strong enough, persevering enough to find him east of the sun, west of the moon. So she goes off. We had in last time the 3 different hags, but were quite kind and helping her, going from one sister to the next sister, and bestowing upon her 3 gifts: a golden apple, a golden comb, and do you remember the third? Do you? I forgot what it is. Water. Golden water, I think. No, I got it. You remembered. A golden harp. Yeah. All right. So she still couldn't find it, even with these great gifts. But the last of the elderly women says, well, look, go to my friend, the west wind. So she does go to the west wind, and he can't help her, but maybe the east wind can help. Maybe the south wind can help. No, they don't know where east of the sun, west of the moon is, but maybe the north wind. Of course it's the north wind. This is a Nordic tale. Now, the north wind does know, but he said he's only been there once, he or she. No, this is kind of a male voice. And he says, but it takes the wind out of him. I mean, he's exhausted. He almost loses his entire spirit and energy. But out of compassion, he's willing to take the young woman on his force and whisk her away on his wind to east of the sun and west of the moon. So he does, and of course it's freezing with this north wind, but she forbears it. She is courageous. She is determined. So she finally does, and the poor wind is exhausted. He doesn't know if there'll ever be a north wind again. But in time, he does recover, although that's getting off of our story. She then finds the castle where the prince is being held captive. But she's a clever woman. She sits at the base of the castle, knowing that they're going to be wondering, who is this strange person? Oh, by the way, there's all these trolls. Trolls are very popular in Nordic stories, but they seem to go about their business, attending to the queen and the princess and such. So they're leaving her alone, which is kind of nice. So she sits under the window of the main window of the castle, and she begins to admire and play with her golden apple. Well, the poor deformed princess, the one that the witch knew she couldn't get anybody to marry her daughter unless, of course, she cast the spell on the prince who became a polar bear, etc. She says, "What is that?" He says, "Well, this is my golden apple, and it's one fun to play with." "I want it," she says. "Well," says our young heroine, "if you really want it, you must grant me a boon, or a gift." "Well, what? I want it." So she says, "Well, you must allow me to spend the night with your fiance." "Well, when you really want something, you really want it. And so, yes, go ahead. What do I care?" Because we're very fortunate that the wedding has not yet taken place. It's 3 days hence. So off she goes, and she gets to spend the night with the sleeping prince, and she prays that all will be successful. And of course, she knows not to light a candle to look at him this time. The second day, what is she doing? But she's using that comb. Now, it's not a comb for her hair. It's not a comb for her hair. It's a comb for puppies and dogs and sheep. So she's elegant, but it's an elegant comb, like everything. All these 3 items are made of gold. "What do you have there?" "Well, it's my golden comb." "I want it." "Well, really? Well, if you let me spend the next night with your fiancé, you may have it." Okay." So there she goes. And then the third night, of course, she's playing the beautiful golden harp. "What's this?" And there you go. So it's the third night is the charm. The third night is the charm. And she stays, and the prince awakens and sees that it is his beloved, that she has come all this way to the mysterious place called East of the Wind and West of the Moon, East of the Sun and West of the Moon. And they're determined to marry, and he refutes the bride to be and the wicked witch, and they're so angry, as often in these tales, and they stomp and stomp and stomp themselves down into the center of the earth. So there we go. You have the conclusion of East of the Sun and West of the Moon. You'll find other variations of it, of course. Notice, please comment on some familiarity with other stories that you may have heard. And notice that in this one, the trolls were pretty much unused. I mean, they're just there. So there we go. Thank you so much for joining me. I will have one more on Friday night, Young at Heart. But then I'm going on a pilgrimage. Been blessed to be invited to go as one of the priests on a pilgrimage to 4 countries of Eastern Europe: Hungary, Czech Republic, so Budapest, Prague, Vienna, and then the Oberammergau Jesus Passion Play, the very south of Germany, in the German Alps. So I'll be gone for 2 weeks after this Friday. So I'll have lots of news about that, hopefully. Pray for us and our pilgrims that we have safe travel. Enjoy your evening. Thanks for joining me. God bless everybody.